Mm, Hello guys, I hope I am audible and the screen is also visible to you. Could you please confirm in the chat so that we will start the session? Hey Sushant, thanks for confirming. Thank you Umesh. Thank you Monica. Uh, Thank you for confirmation. We will start the session. Let me pull the presentation. So again, I welcome all of you to this course from basic to advanced SQL. We have learned few string functions. Today I will cover few more string functions and then we will I will cover few more data date functions. So today we'll cover let me see. Okay, we have learned concat. So the concat function is used if you want to join multiple strings together. For example, if the first name is there, middle name is there, and the last name is there, and if you want the full name, okay, and these fields like the first name, the last name, and middle name is into different columns, and if you want to join these three columns together to form a full name. That time we use a concat even if there is a area code and then there is a country code if you want to join these to form a particular string or any pin code or state code. At that time concat is used. Replicate is basically used to replicate the particular string. For example, on if you may like have seen on the checkbook, right? There are star at the end, and there are few initial stars at the beginning, and at the end there would be a number. So that replicate function is used to print same number or same pattern on a, if you want to print same pattern, that time replicate function is used. So, substring to get the part of the string, substring is used. For example, I have shown you one example about the pin code or the area code. If you want to get a particular part of a string, then we will go for the substring. And the syntax is string, then starting position and the end position. The starting position and end position are the inclusive part. Post that we today we will learn what is char index. So it is basically used to get the part of the string. Okay, so and what char index does, char index basically give the position of a particular character or a string, and it will give the starting position. Okay, so the syntax is char index, then expression to find, expression to search, and then the location. So the start location is not compulsory. You can give the start location, or you can. There is no need to. I mean, this start location is an optional part. So let me show you one example of the s- char index. Before that, again, there is one more thing is that the string. There is one more function is the pat index, right? So these two functions are used to give a position of a string. This will give a position of a string, whereas this will give a position of the a particular pattern. For example, let me show you this example. So So now this is the string, okay, and I want to find where is the pattern from clause, okay. So you can see SQL from, and there is one more time from. But what this pattern text does, it will try to find this from clause in this string, and it will return the position of the first from clause. You see, this is at the fifth position. If you count, this is one, two, three, four, and fifth. So this form is at the fifth position. The same thing, if I want to find a position of a particular characters, then I will go with the char index. For example, select char index. Then what I find, I want to find m letter in string Maisha. Okay, let's execute it. See, m is at the one position. For example, if I want to find a position of I letter, then I will specify I letter here, and then you will get the third. This I is at the third position. But what if I want to get a position of A, or there are multiple Maisha is from India. Okay. Now, what if I want to find the position of I, this position, this I's position instead of this? Then what I have to do, like just you have to find one, two, three, and then give the from where you want to start. Okay, now I want to start from the fourth position. So what it will does, it will exclude this part and it will start from this, and then it will find the first position of the I, and it will return that particular number. Let's see. See, this is at the place 8. So basically, when char index is required, so I will give one example. Now, for example, let me check. I have a person table, and do we have any email address there? No, we don't have. Mm, Salespeople. No. Mm, oh, let me switch to the AdventureWorks database. To switch from one database to another database, like earlier I was working with this SQL tutorial, now I want to work with this AdventureWorks database. So I will select this database, then select new query. So you can confirm here this AdventureWorks database is there, and even from here also you can confirm. Now just type select star from person dot person. Let's see there is an email address field is there or not. No, it is not there. Let me check uh, another part. Okay, it's not there. Okay, no problem. What we will do, I will show you one more example where let me check inside this table whether we do have a email address or not. We don't have. Email address is there. Okay, I got it now. See, now what I want to identify the domain of this particular string. So I want the domain part at one end, and uh, the name or the email address. I mean the part. Okay. Uh, before. at the rate I want into one place, and the after at the rate part I want in another form. So how can I achieve that? See, the first thing is we can achieve, like, let me take this email address and execute this. Now I will take these three example. This is my initial uh, problem. Okay, this is the problem statement that I have a few email addresses. Now I want this part separated. Like I want this. I want to identify like what are the different domains. Okay, so how can you identify the different domains? I mean, you can use uh, like keyword or you can use a case statement. But if I have a billions of millions of records and I want to identify how many different domains are there, so how can I identify? The thing is that here we want the first part in one column and the second part in the different column. So to get the first part, there is to get a part, right? We have a function in SQL Server is substring. So substring, then we want to start from the one, right? Then one, sorry, we have to find it in email address. So let me show you the syntax. We will copy the syntax from here. So this is the syntax, right, for the substring. Let me copy paste here so that it will be easy for us. Now I want to start from the first position. Okay, so what I will do, one. Then now what I want to find the position of at the rate. Okay, so using char index we can find the position. For example, select char index. Now let me take this example. Now I want to find at the rate, right? So I want to find the position of the at the rate. How can I find? I can find like char index, then comma and the string, and I will execute this one. So now I will get the position. So in this case also, the syntax is starting position one, and like I want to go till at the rate. Okay, so to get the position of the at the rate, you can see there is no constant position here. A0A, this at the rate is at the third place. Then at this arrow, it is in the third record, it is around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sixth position. Okay, so the position of the at rate is not constant, so we cannot give any string, like we cannot give like this. And if we execute this, what we will get? Let's see. I'm getting the output, okay, but I'm not getting the part prior to this at the rate. Okay, I want that part prior to at the rate, so it is not dynamic. This need to be a sorry, yeah, this is not dynamic. This need to be a dynamic. I want to find the position of the at the rate. So to find the position of the at the rate, this is the syntax. Okay, we'll copy this one and we'll just replace the things. So the char index will find the position of at the rate, but where I want to find the position of the at the rate in the email address. And let's put the email address and now execute this query. You can see now I'm getting what I'm getting portion with the at the rate, the prior portion with the at the rate, or pre-portion prior to at the rate. But I don't want at the rate. Okay, so what can I do? This will give me the position, right? This you can see here, it is giving me the position at the rate 7. Now this is at the 7. Now I don't want this 7th position, and in case of the string substring, this position, that last length is the inclusive part. Okay, so I don't want that part. So what I will do, I want to exclude or this at the rate. So what I will do, I will do a -1, so that whatever length is there, whatever length is there, it will just exclude. I will do the minus, or I will remove one character, or one length or uh, yeah, one length from that particular field, and I will get the uh, first part. Now let's execute this part. Now see, I'm getting only the prior part to at the rate. Now what I want post part at the rate. Okay, so how can I achieve? There is again a simple thing. Again, we have to use the substring, but now instead of starting at the 1st position, now I want to start at this position. Okay, so my starting position will be this. So how can I achieve that? The starting position, I will get it from here. So let me put, yeah, I have to find it in the email address. Instead of the one, I want to start the, I want the sub part from at the rate. Okay, so to get the position of the at the rate, we use a char index. So I will copy this part and will paste here. Okay, and at last, what I want go to end till the end. So how can I get the length of the characters? Just simply put length to get the length. Just simply put length of email address. Now let's see. Still, what I will get this at the rate. To how to exclude at the rate, I will show you. See, still I'm getting at the rate, but now this is inclusive. So okay, we don't want this part. So how can we remove that? Just put +1. Now these two parts are separated. Okay, there is no at the rate you can see. Okay, so now the first part is different and the domain part is different. So we can use a substring and char index, and by using these two functions, we can separate the strings on a particular position. So most of the time during interview, this question will be asked to you, like I want the domain name separated. So this is the way by using char index and substring we can achieve it. It's just simply if you have to remember the substring syntax and the char index syntax. The syntax is starting like string name or the column name, then starting position for the first, like I want the first part, so I have started from here, and then length I want to go to till at the rate. But char index, what char index does, char index give the position of the at the rate, and this position is inclusive. Okay, so that's the reason I want do the I mean I have to do, like I have to remove one character from that particular length. Let me show you the position how it works. So let me execute this one. See, this at the rate is at the third place. Okay, so you can see A0 at the rate third place. If I put the string now email address, substring email address, I want to start from 1, and then at that if I keep 3, then what will happen? Let's see. So I will get the at the rate. Okay. Now why I'm getting the at the rate? It will start from this one and it will get next three letters. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. So this at the rate is inclusive. I want to remove that part. So I will do a -1 and I will execute this one. Now see, I am getting this part. So this, in this case, in this example, this is fixed, but the position of the at the rate is not a fixed, right? It is dynamic. So to achieve this dynamic part, we have used a char index. So char index is used to get the position of a particular characters or letter or anything of a particular, you can say consider a character or number, anything. Okay, so this is the use. I mean, in real time, you will use the char index and substring most of the time if you want to find like the domain name, or for example, there is a like India and Maharashtra. Okay, there is a for example, there is a column which stores the state, country name and the state name, then again district name. If everything is stored in the one field, and if you want to bifurcate it, then we can achieve using substring and char index. Okay, so this is the substring. The pat index is the similar thing. It will do the same as char index, but here if you can see, I'm just analyzing a particular character. Okay, what is the position of a particular character? If I want to find a position of a particular string or a pattern, that time I will go with the index. Okay, then stuff function. Okay, so this stuff function is deletes the specified length of a characters and inserts that like how many characters you want to insert at a particular position. For example, if I want to remove this from clause from basic to advanced, and if I want to put 0 to hero, then let me show you the example. Okay, so this is the syntax of the stuff function. Always remember, try to remember. I mean, it is not required to remember the syntax. You can, like, while working, you can go on the internet, you can search the syntax. But remember, like, what the function actually does. Okay, it is required. Okay, it's not required. What is the syntax? You can always go on the internet, and in every organization, you can use the internet. Okay, so it's not abandoned or banned. So now the stuff function does like it it will it will remove a particular part from a string, and it will insert the other part. Now what I want to remove a part from position 10 to 16, and I want to insert 0 to hero in between. So how can I do that? See. So this B is at the 16th position, sorry, 10th position, and I want to remove this whole part. Okay, so I have calculated the characters, and now I want to insert, instead of the basic to advanced, I want to insert 0 to hero. So this stuff function basically use, there is one common scenario where you will be use this function. If you have a values in a field, right? Let me show you one example. I don't have data. See, these group names are in mm, different group names. Okay, and now if I want these group names comma separated, okay, during that time this stuff function is used in combination with for XML clause. Let me show you. Select star from for XML path XML. Yeah, see here, if you want, let me open it one more time. See here, if you want to take the particular part, okay, if you want to remove this row or department ID, and if you want only the data part, that time you will use a stuff function. See, earlier I was getting the data in like in row by row manner. If I put a XML path function, then I am getting the data in the single line. Okay, so in single line, if I want this part in the comma separated values, I will go for XML path, and there is one more function. So we will use the stub and substring part. I will show you later that part how to use. I mean, it is little bit tricky. So I will show you once we learn the all string functions. Then let me show you one more string function, reverse. Okay, so uh, reverse string function. So basically, it reverse the characters of a string, and we utilize the reverse function to perform to reverse the string. Okay, for example, if I have a word hello world or hello SQL, let me see, select, then hello. Okay, what if I want this D at the first and the H at the end? So what I will do, select, this is the function, and then pass the string name. Okay, see, it is not readable, right? I mean, so it is basically used to get a particular part. For example, if I have a file path, okay, for example, let me show you. I have a handy path with me or a query with me. Let me show you. Select star from database files, and from there I want only physical path. Okay, physical name. Now let's see what I want. I want, let me copy this one. See, I want the first part, okay. I want this part, the file name in a separate column, and the basically path in the file name in the separate column, and the path name in the separate column. So by using char index, write function, and reverse function, we can achieve this. So how can we achieve this? Let me show you. So this is the stuff. Okay, now you know that char index will find a position of a particular string. Now what you can see this example. Okay, this is at the last. Okay, this is at the last. Now to get the position of this character, this particular pipe, or this particular special characters, it is required to count, right? I mean, you require to count like how many characters are there in the string, and then you will specify from where you want to start the counting. But what if I did, if I reverse the string, like for example, let me reverse it and I will show you. Reverse, then pass the file name. Mm, okay, let me execute first. See, you can see now it is little bit easy for me, right? Now I can easily find the position of the first this letter, this pipe, okay, or you can say the forward slash, right? So now what I will do, I will take the position of this one, and how can I achieve? Let me show you. So char index, then we want to find position of this character, right? Where we want to find in the physical path, but where in the reverse. manner. Now you know that this is at the length 23, okay? So if I start my substring from 23 position, then definitely I will get this part, okay? So what I will do, I will use a substring string, or there is an alternative, okay? You know that we have a write function, right? So what does write function does? A write function will get the right part of the string, okay? So what I will do, write, then what I want the stuff from physical file path. So then I will use a char index. It is I mean, you feel it is little bit difficult, but if you do practice, see, I'm getting this part now. I'm getting the file part. Okay. Now, like I'm getting this file part with this symbol. I don't want that. So do one thing, just exclude or do -1. You will get, let me execute this one. See, you are getting it. Okay. So by using combination of write function, char index, and reverse, these three functions, we will get the part of the file. Okay, so I mean, whenever if you want a particular last part, okay, and if it is, I mean, it is the best example where you will use the reverse function. There are very few cases where reverse function will be useful. So this is the one thing where reverse function is used. I will explain what is these files. Okay, I mean these are the database administrator tasks, but this LDF or log file is a file where all our transactions reside. Once we do commit operation, then all data will be resided here in the MDF file. This is the master file where there is a this is the log file. Hmm, okay, now char. Okay, soundx function. So basically, soundx function is used to get like if you pronounce a word and it has a similar pronunciation, cheap and cheap. Okay, these are chip and cheap. These are the two different words, but the pronunciation is the same. So to get the similar kind of the uh, words or the data, the soundx function is used. Let me open one example and I will show you. You can use this way or this way, no problem. So if there is an last name as Anderson, then it will show me the similar pronunciation words or the last name. Okay, let me execute this query. See, I'm getting the same Anderson SEN last name. Let me scroll down. See here, there is a difference in the spelling, right? But the pronunciation is the same. So soundx function is used whenever you want to get a similar pronunciation data. That time is used. Best example, if you have Axis Bank account and if you have called to any particular customer care, there is a bot called AXA, and it will ask you to share your mobile number or what kind of information do you need. I mean, then it will capture your voice and again, according to that, according to the pronunciation, it will provide the related information to you. So there this soundx function is used. Then ASCII char, I will explain this one. You can read the description. Return the character based on the number code. For example, you may aware that our whole computer is based on the binary number, and there are few things like for example, you know that the letter A has an ASCII code 65. So if we want to get what is char, oh sorry, what is the position, what is what is the ASCII what is the position for this 65, what is the character for this 65? Okay, so it will return me A. So for example 99, then it will give me some other letter. This is the small c. Okay, so it basically returns a particular character for a particular position, and in case of the ASCII, it will do the reverse stuff. Okay, if you want, select ASCII, then A. Execute this one. See, you will get the 97 for small letter, small a. The ASCII code is 97. So basically, it is used when you are if you are dealing with the uh, raw data. If you want to remove certain characters based on ASCII code and based on the character stuff, it is used. Okay. So for example, let me show you character 10 plus char 13 is used for a new line. Let me show you. I will type something. Mm, you are okay. Why it's you are learning SQL. Okay. Now suppose that I want this stuff at the next level. Okay. Going good. Oh, why it's not coming? Uh, mm, 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 mm. Car 10. I remember this car 10 and car 13 is used to get into the new line. Why it's not working? It should return new line. Mm, let I think I kept it wrong way. No, still not working. This is right. 13 plus 10 should give me the next line. Uh, uh, Let me declare it somewhere and DC declare a thread text var char 100 and then select this part. Probably now this will work. Let me check. Mm, Set this one, then select thread. Oh, still it's not working. Okay, I will check and I will get back to you on this. But let me check by removing 10. Oh, still not working. Mm, You are learning SQL, then plus. It should return. Okay, I will check this part, but if you put a char 13 and char 10, basically it will return the second part into next string or next line, sorry. Okay, so basically here we have covered almost all string functions, and then we'll go to the date function. So as you know that date is a data type in SQL Server, and there are other data types. So if you want to store a time part separately, you can use a time date data type. If you want to store only date time, then you can use a date data type. If you want to store a small like if your date range is between 1900 1st Jan 19 1st January 1900 to 29 2079 0606, that is 6th June 2079, then you can use small date. But if there are two concurrent records, there is a lag of 1 minute, so you can store the data accurately up to 1 minute. If there is a data in between, like within 1 minute, then you it is very difficult to bifurcate the date part, date and time part. So date time basically is used to store the data, and date and time is basically used to store data and time, and the range is this one, okay? And the accuracy is up to 003 times 3 seconds, and the storage is required 8. Date time to again, it these are the different data types, okay, and each has the advantage over other. Okay, so if you want to store a date time in a UTC format, then you should go with this data type. This data type. Now we will see, like for example, um, I'm in Pune, and mostly if our servers are at USA or UK, and if my database is also located there, then in that case, the data is stored into their format, okay, as per their date or date format. Now, what if I want to convert that data date into my date? Then how can I convert? I can use a select switch offset function. Okay. For example, you may aware that there is a difference. The mean Greenwich mean time and in our time there is a we are ahead basically 5:30 hours. Okay. So if I want to go and check what's the time now in UK or USA, we can use this offset. I remember that USA is -6 hours, or sorry, -8 hours from here. Okay, wait, why it's not working? Oh, this is the problem. Okay. See, now what's the timing at basically in less function is remaining. Okay. This is our timing. Okay. Now what I did, I have added 5:30, but still it's showing me the same timing, right? You can see here. If I put a minus symbol here, then it will show me the min timing, that is the UTC timing. This is the UTC timing. Now, let me show you another example. Okay. And what if you want to add a year or a month or a day or few seconds in a given date, then there is a function called date add. So date add function is used to add few uh, intervals in your existing date. So this is the syntax, and these are the different date parts. You can put year, month, quarter, then day, week, weekday, hour, minute. Okay, let me show you one example. Date add. This is the syntax. Now select. Now I want add one day or one year in the current year. Okay, so the interval is year. In this case, number one, I want the today's date to be incremented by one and then date. So to get today's date, the function is get date. So now this select date add function will add exactly 1 year into get date. So you can check the what get date does. It will show you today's date. Let me execute this query simultaneously. See what it does. What it did, like it added 1 year in today's date. So you can add even you can add month to here. So this is the month. Okay, so I have added 1 month. Then there are the different intervals. Okay, where it is important if you want to add a particular days or like for example a person's insurance should be I mean expiry date, okay, and it will be expired after 12 months. Now I have a portal insurance portal, and if I have purchased a insurance and if I want to get my expiry date, how can I get? At the back end, this SQL developer will write this function. Okay, then there will be instead of the get date, there will be a insurance issuance date. Okay, insurance date or insured date. I mean, the data will be whatever data is there, it will be the insured field. And if I add 12 months into it, then this will be my date of expiry if my insurance is getting expired after 12 months. So this is the one example where you will use this data add function. What if I want to check if I want to go back by 12 months? Then for example, mm, I want to go 12 months back. Then instead of this, I mean, like you can put plus sign or if you haven't mentioned any sign, meaning that by default SQL treat this as the plus sign. Now, if I put a minus sign, then it will go back by 12 months. So exactly 12 months. Okay. If I want to go only, give me 1 minute. What's timing? 20. Give me 1 minute. Okay. So let me show you one more example where we use a deaddiff function. So deaddiff function is used to get the difference between two dates. Now I have a production history, production cost history table, and now I want to get a difference between the start date and end date. Okay, so how can I get that? Give me one more minute. It's not audible. I hope it's audible, right? Okay. Thank you, Sagar. Mm, Okay, I was explaining you the deadlift function. Okay, so now if I want to get the difference between these two dates, okay, in months, so how can I get? Just simply put, let me take these two functions here, two fields here, and I want the difference between the start date and end date. Mm, then date, diff, and then I want data in the month, so you can specify start date and the end date and just execute. So see this particular product, let me put a product ID also. This particular product is started, it is entered at this particular a date and it exit, sorry, it exited at a particular this date and how many months are there? 12 months. Okay. It will not calculate on the basis of the day. It will be basically calculated based on the month itself. Okay. Probably you can see here it is 31st May 2011, but in case here it's exited or it's ended on this 29th. So there are still 2 days are remaining to complete the 12 months, but it is not calculated on the day basis. If you want to calculate the day basis, then put a day and then divide this particular number by 30 days. So and then put a dot to get a fraction also. So here you will get the fractions. Okay. So this is the deadlift function. Basically, if you are on the LinkedIn and if you saw few few profiles, okay, if you want to check a particular employee, how long he's worked for a particular organization, then you can see 8 years, 9 months, okay, kind of information will be available a particular person's LinkedIn profile. So how the information is calculated? It is calculated based on the deadlift function. So today we will stop here. Tomorrow I will cover more other functions like what is date name, and there are few other functions how to deal with the date diff and date add functions in more details and in practical examples how to get a data into it. The other thing is that, for example, like I mean, if I want a particular month's data, how can I get it? I can put a particular month's data and time. But if I want to get a data on monthly basis, and if I don't want to put hard-coded values, how can I achieve it? I can achieve it using a dynamic date. So that dynamic date is can be calculated using dateDiff function and dateAdd function. So thank you for joining. Tomorrow we will cover the rest part and few more examples on dateAdd and dateDiff functions and other date functions like what does datePart does, what datename does, and how to get a day of the month, last day of the month, or how many days are in between particular days or last day of the year, first day of the year, how we can calculate. Okay, these are basically used in the banking system. If you want to get a balance or if you want to get a salary, how the salaries are getting credited last day of the month. I mean, no one will do. salary credit information manually. Okay, there are few jobs which will automatically run, and on the last day of the month, the salary will be getting credited to your account. Or if you are paying a loan, it will be debited from your account on a particular date. So how these are calculated based on this data and the date function or date name part. Based on the date part, they will check the particular criteria. What is the EMI next EMI date, or how many holidays are in between a particular month, how many Sundays are there, how many Saturdays are there in a particular period. These all kind of information are calculated based on this date type and date add and few other date functions. So I will show you that part in tomorrow's lecture. Thank you for joining. Have a good and great night. Thank you.